Hi everybody, welcome and welcome back to my YouTube channel, #MovieBae. I am MovieBae, and in this video, I'm going to be doing a review over A24's latest production entitled The Front Room. But before we get too into it though, I would like for y'all to drop down and hit the subscribe button. Thank you. Because here on Movie Bay, I do reviews, reactions, and commentary to movies and television. And if that is the type of content you like, you might as well stick around and hit the subscribe button. And if you find yourself enjoying my commentary along the way, don't be afraid to give me a thumbs up and or drop a comment down below. Now, let's get into this. We haven't seen Miss Brandy Norwood in a horror film, correct me if I'm wrong, since I Still Know What You Did Last Summer. So the moment I saw this trailer on Instagram, I was like, okay, I'm here for it. We got Brandy, we got creepy old white people, and those two things. When it comes to old people and horror, it works for me. I don't know what it is, but old white people creep me out. And then we have a leading lady of being a black leading lady, and then of course it's Brandy, national treasure. Yeah, I feel like I gotta go see it. So let's not. I don't want to spoil it. I don't want to spoil it. Let's get into the basic synopsis of this film. So the Front Room is about, it tells a story of a newly pregnant couple who are forced to take in an alien, estranged mother-in-law. I hope I pronounced that correctly. And of course, like I stated, it stars Brandy Norwood, Andrew Burnap, and Catherine Hunter. And when I tell you, Miss Catherine Hunter did not come to play when she came to playing Miss Solange. Okay. Now our couple here, I don't even know their last name, but Belinda and Norman, as previously stated, they are expecting, they're married, they're expecting, and Brandy's character, Belinda, she has just decided to quit her job since they was playing on her intelligence. Okay, they was treating her like she was dispensable, so she decided to just leave in the middle of her pregnancy. Meanwhile, her husband, dang, what's his name again, y'all? He didn't come up that much in the movie. But her husband, Norman, he's in between trying to fight for a promotion at his job. Now, his father passes away, and it seems like he hasn't been home or talked to his parents in a very long time. His mother passed away when he was a child, so he grew up with, of course, his father and his stepmother, Solange. At the very mention of going to the funeral, Norman was like shaking in his boots when he just thought about Solange and how she treated him as a kid. So we find out that when he was a kid, she is very, very religious, to the fact where she would, like, I guess, like borderline like abuse him if he got his prayers wrong. So when they go to the funeral, the pastor encourages him to come talk to Solange. And we find out that Solange, first off, not only might Solange not approve of this interracial relationship, but we also find out that Solange has left him, Norman, everything in his father's will. Like, you can have it all, the house, the money, whoop de whoop, as long as you let me come stay with you, until my end. Woo, child. I would have said no. If I was him, I would have said no. And if I was Belinda, Brandy's character, I definitely would have said no. Because yes, we need the money. Yes, I just quit my job. We got a baby on the way. You fighting for this promotion. We need it. Okay. However, just looking at my husband reaction to this lady, apparently she has traumatized him in some way. So I would have been like, no, whatever you want to do, baby, I'll let you make that decision. If you say no, I'll be here to support you in that decision. We do need the money, but it's looking like it's looking like it's gonna mess you up mentally, and we don't need that, especially. But Norman ends up deciding to take in Solange because they need the money. Now, when they get there, when Solange moves in, she kind of like, and this is where the movie, I don't know, it's kind of mixed, right? She is very over religious, yes, and she's also very invasive. yes, this isn't her house, but she wants to move all her furniture in, and she wants to do things her way. She wants to pray at dinner, and they're not really Norman and Belinda. They're not really religious like that, but Belinda is being very respectful of Solange. She's like, everybody should be able to practice their religious rights. Oh, Norman, let her move in. Oh, she could stay in this room. It's okay. So on and so forth. Okay. So not Belinda, Solange, I feel like their names should be switched. I feel like Brandy needs to be Solange and Catherine Hunter needs to be Belinda. It's giving that. And then there was a whole like conversation about names too. But Solange is like making these like, I guess like borderline racist comments. And sometimes you could chalk it up to, well, she's old. That's, the way of the world back when she was younger. But you also got to remember, okay, but times have changed, sis, and you need to change with the times. So saying things like, oh, I thought you people would have more interesting names and stuff like that. Yeah, that's going to get you a quick side eye who you talking to. You need to respect me, okay? But anyhow, Solange is slowly but surely trying to take over the house. Now, Norman and Belinda had I guess like a stillbirth probably in their first pregnancy. And even though Solange was unaware of this situation, the moment she touched Brandy's belly, she automatically knew, oh, you've been pregnant before, whoop-de-whoop, whoop-de-whoop. So it's given like religion, but like on the borderline of spiritual. Because to me, this is where the movie kind of like starts to lose itself. It's too many things at one term. It wants to be religious, then it wants to be spiritual, then it wants to be demonic, and it's just too much going on. But, and on top of that, we're dealing with a mother-in-law, or shall we say, a monster-in-law. It goes from Solange wanting to be Belinda's BFF, or we're both two mothers and we both want to just take care of the household and whoop-de-whoop, we should be an alliance, to Solange pissing in herself on purpose. So Belinda and Norman could come change her and clean up after her. No. The first time she soiled her bedding or whatever, and she was like, help me, Belinda. And when Norman finally comes and helps her, because he has to go to work, I was like, boy, you better come pick up your shitty ass. You better come help me with this. I'm over here 8-9 months pregnant. You think I could really help this old lady come wash her ass? Like, no, quit playing with me. But the moment that Norman picks up Solange to carry her to the bathroom, Solange stops crying and starts smirking and laughing at Belinda. Oh, hell no. Nah. Because that moment, now I know you playing with me. You would have been sitting in your kid playing with me if you want to. Hands, wiping her shitty hands all on the wall. It was, y'all, when I tell you the mother-in-law from hell, she would have been sitting in her own skin with me. Do you hear me? Now, not only did she just turn up, honestly, out of nowhere, she starts claiming abuse, saying that Belinda is abusing her. This whole scene, like down here on the bottom right, she busts her face wide open, just throws herself on the ground, and just like tooth out, bloody, everything. Goes to the hospital, say my daughter-in-law is abusing me. I feel like that is when Belinda draws the line. Not only when I actually had my baby, and you and your old creepy white people friends praying and laying hands on my baby, talking in tongues. Get this weird out of here. Stop touching on me. No. Okay. No. The baby comes out being obsessed with I guess I don't know what it's called, y'all gonna judge me, but like the Christian symbol of like with the fish, that one. Okay. And it's like, what have you done to my baby? Okay, you to finesse me into taking her to naming her what you want me to name her, and now she only responds to you or anything Christian related. And then on top of that, now you're telling my husband and doctors and the pastor that I'm abusing you. So at this point, they're enemies. Okay. Now, one night, not Belinda, God dang it, they names. You could just really interchange them. Solange is screaming, why can't I die? And the next morning she wakes up unalived. And it's like, oh, all the problems have stopped. The baby can now latch onto me and I can breastfeed properly. They move, right? And then we get a flashback that Belinda is the reason that Solange went up to glory that night when she was doing all that hooping and hollering and yelling and screaming. Now, oh yeah, spoilers. This movie, y'all. When I tell you this movie, let's get into the review part. It was all over the place. Like I stated, it didn't know if it wanted to. Well, first off, I like the fact that it's like mother-in-law meets horror. I like that part. I really do. Except it went to religion. It had a thing about race. I didn't understand anything about Belinda. She's a professor in, I don't know, like anthropology or something. I don't know what she's a professor in, but it was something about like childbirth and women, and I don't know, y'all. I was ignorant when it came to that, and I'm pretty sure it had a deep meaning, but like I said, I was ignorant and it went over my head. So yeah, like religion, race, that ancient history stuff, demonic spirit, like who knows what was going on because so much was happening at the same time. I feel like, once again, I feel like Belinda and Solange, they went from being in an alliance to just a whole extreme. And I know it probably was because Belinda ended up telling Norman that Solange, soiled herself against Solange's wishes, which I don't understand why Belinda did that either. But then again, she's 8 months pregnant. She wouldn't need help with it. But I just feel like it was a really, really drastic change in character. It's like now we turned up. We beefing forever now. Another thing about this movie is the moment I realized it was comical is when Solange threw herself on the floor and was like, "I'm gonna raise his baby." Threw herself on the floor, tooted her ass up, and farted. It was that moment, on purpose, by the way, where I said, okay, this movie's a joke. So I'm going to take it for what it is, a fucking joke. Getting into the performances, Brandy, first off, the wig was laid. I love this lace front braid wig. And we know Brandy for the braids. Like, we know, okay? Loved her hair. Beautiful. Brandy was Brandy. It was like no like Oscar worthy performance or anything, but she also wasn't acting horribly either. Now when it comes to Miss Catherine though, I'm not gonna hold you. I thought that she was just so funny. Who is this lady, y'all? Is she an actress? Like, what has she been in? I want to see more of her just from this movie alone. When it came to and Norman, he was here today, gone tomorrow. Who cares? Oh, I think my Wi-Fi lapsed. I don't know if y'all missed anything I said, but Brandy did very well. Catherine stole the show, and Norman was barely there. But yeah, I would love to see more of Catherine. She's hilarious. She should be a comedian. When it comes to the horror elements of here, I did scream once. Like, luckily it was just me and the person I went to the movies with. The movies was empty. And I mean empty. It was like 7 p.m. on a Sunday evening, and it was just us two in the theaters. And something happened. I can't even remember what it was, but I literally said, "Ah!" Like I screamed. And I was like, "Oh, I'm so happy we here by ourselves." Aside from that, I like how during the movie, some Belinda had it was a lot of dream sequences. So at the end, when everything's all sunny skies and sunshines, and she's all happy and they're moving on with their lives, I was like, "Oh, this is a dream. This is a dream." And then when it flashed back, I actually thought it was a dream, but they just showed that no, it's real because Belinda actually unalived Solange. And I was like, well, I'll take that. So the ending wasn't bad to me because they looped it in with those previous dream sequences. I just wish that it was taken a little more seriously. Even though I like that it was funny, it got borderline goofy. And like I said, it was just too much going on. I don't know. Well, thank you so much for tuning into my review of The Front Room. Be sure you like, comment, subscribe. Tell me your thoughts and opinions about this film down below. out of 10 stars, I'm gonna give it a solid 6. And that's really just because it was funny. The 6 is for the humor alone. The 6 is for the humor alone. Everything else, and I'm not even like a poop and throw up type humor person. Like I'm really not. But it was just Catherine and how her mannerisms and how she was speaking, and maybe it was the accent that just made everything 10 times funnier to me. I I have no idea. I don't know. But shout out to Belinda. She had way more patience than I would have had. It's like Catherine was supposed to be, or Solange was supposed to be the villain, but it's like, how can you hate her for too long because she's just funny? I don't know, y'all. I don't know. But thank y'all so much for tuning in. Be sure y'all like, comment, subscribe, and leave your thoughts and opinions in the comment section down below. Bye.